for this program of songs all about roses. Our special guest today is the gal that Lawrence Welk always said had a voice as big as her home state of Texas. He was so right, and she is fabulous. Please welcome Ralna English.
Hello, Mary Lou.
Hello, Ralna.
Isn't this
So glad
fun?
you're here.
I am too.
When you look back at this show from 1971, what do you think?
Well, I was so young. Guy was so young. We were so in love. It was this show just about blew my mind. I hadn't seen this, and then I got to take a look at it. And from 71, and we'd only been married like a couple of years. And so it was just mind-boggling. It was so long ago, I can't remember. So.
Well, people always ask about you and Guy. Some don't realize that you're not still together as a couple.
Amazing.
And
it's been
others are just
1984.
heartsick that you're not. Is there something you'd like to say to them?
Well, you know what? I understand that, Mary Lou. And of course, I've had this for so many years now from people, and especially from married couples that have been, maybe they were married 10 years or 15 years when we came on the show as newlyweds, and now they're married 50 years, and they come through the autograph line, and they're so in love, and you see the light in their eyes of love. It's so precious to me. And they identified with us back then because they were so in love, and Guy and I were newlyweds, as I said, when we came on the show, and we were so mad about each other, just crazy about each other. And, you know, it's heartbreaking in a way for them to see us split up. And I understand that, you know. But you know what? It just was not meant to be that way. You know, Guy's married to the cutest gal in the world, Sis, now, and she calls me her wife-in-law. And they are so happy. They live in Mississippi. And, you know, here I am living in Phoenix, and Julie's there.
What's your first memory of performing for an audience?
Oh, my goodness. I was 7 years old on the stage of Spur High School, and I had a little dress on with a little sash in the back and a little short dress above my knees, or right at my knees, I guess, because I remember standing on the stage singing Daddy's Little Girl, and here I am with my knees shaking, knocking together.
So you moved to Lubbock early on.
I was 10 years old when I moved to Lubbock and graduated from Thomas Lubbock High School. I'm going back for my reunion. Anyway, yeah, I graduated and then started at Texas Tech and moved that very year that I started in school. I auditioned for Six Flags Over Texas in Dallas and was chosen to go there and do the campus review that year. So moved to Dallas then.
You sang with the group called the Ad-Libs?
Oh, in Lubbock, yes. Oh, yes. I sang Ralna English and the Ad-Libs. And I was 13 when I first started with this band. They were in high school, junior high school, and we sang all around Lubbock. And in fact, my claim to fame, Mary Lou, and you know this, is that Ralna English and the Ad-Libs beat Buddy Holly and the Crickets one Saturday night, Battle of the Bands in Lubbock, Texas, at the local theater. And I still have the little plaque to prove it.
Is that what got you a star on the Walk of Fame?
Well, probably, yeah. Buddy Holly Walk of Fame in Lubbock, and there are a lot of people on there. Waylon Jennings, and Waylon and I used to have the same manager when I was very young. We traveled around together, and I sang on one of his first records, Back Up, and he really taught me to appreciate and love country music. There were a lot of famous people around that area.
Mac Davis?
Mac Davis. I dated Mac in high school. Yeah, Mac and I, he's a great guy, married to a wonderful gal, lives in L.A., and...
So you went from Lubbock to Dallas, is that right?
I went from Lubbock to Dallas. That's right. And the campus review got me there, and then I sang, and I did 4 hours a day at doing jingles. And then at night, I would sing in a jazz club and do 4 hours at night with a jazz trio. And really got my training, I feel, there, you know, from 64 to 67. And then I moved to L.A.
So how did you get to the Lawrence Welk Show?
Well, I was working at the Horn. I was actually traveling all over the country, and then I used the Horn as a base in L.A. And I was working Las Vegas. I worked with the Kirby Stone Four and at Caesar's Palace. Worked with Frank Sinatra Jr. We traveled around, did a lot of clubs back east, and when I would come back to L.A., then I would be able to sing at the Horn, and the Horn was just a very famous place there, and I don't know, if you know, but Steve Martin got his start there, and Jim Neighbors, and all kinds of people. And there were 11 performers there every night. And I said, does anybody know anyone from the Lawrence Welk Show? Because I want to do a show for my grandmother, because my grandmother loved the Lawrence Welk Show. And if you were at her house on Saturday night, as you know, you had to watch the Lawrence Welk Show. So I really wanted to do a show just for my grandmother. And that was my only intention. I wasn't planning to, I didn't want to necessarily be on the show full time. I just wanted to do a show for her. But somebody knew somebody from the show, S.K. Grundy, and S.K. came down to hear me sing at the Horn. And he said, now the next day, Lawrence will be coming in about 12 o'clock from a golf game. And if you come in, maybe you can sing for him. So I came down the next day. Guy brought his guitar, and I sang I Have Loved Me a Man.
And Guy played for your audition?
Guy played guitar for my audition.
You met Guy at the Horn?
I met Guy at the Horn. Yes, I did. Yes, and we got married a year later. You know, it was a wild time in my life. But it was a wonderful time, and Lawrence was just darling, and he said, I heard him say, don't call us, we'll call you. But actually what he said, he meant, as he was a man of his word, as you know. And he said, we don't have a place for you right now, but if we do, I'll give you a call.
And he meant it.
And a couple of months later, he called me. Andrew Willis left the show, and I joined the show.
What did you learn from Lawrence?
Oh, I learned so much from him. He was a man of integrity to me, because he was true to himself. And I think that's one of the most important things, to thine own self be true. And he certainly was. Because, you're going to make me cry now, Mary Lou. You know, I really cared a lot for Lawrence, and so did you. So we both kind of feel the same way. But no, I just think, you know, he started out with a pure heart in all this. He wanted to do this not for fame, not for money, not for wealth. But he wanted to do this because he loved it. And he really wanted to, and he did. I mean, what he did has been so phenomenal. Just phenomenal.
Yes.
You know, 50 years on television, and he's been gone since 1992, and he's still here, you know. And it's such a tribute to him. And I really think it came from the fact that he wanted to do this from his heart.
Yeah.
You know.
So what are your dreams for the future?
Well, goodness, I just live one day at a time. I don't really look that far ahead, you know, but I'm looking forward to slowing down. I'm traveling so much, and I'm doing so much work lately that I'm looking forward to slowing down and playing a lot more tennis and enjoying my friends in Scottsdale. I live in Scottsdale, Arizona now.
You love Arizona.
I've died and gone to heaven. I tell you, God moved, he planned it this way, I know, because I've never been so happy to be, and this place has made me so happy, Arizona. And I just love my friends there. I love my life there. I love my tennis games. I love my my daughter being so near. You know, she's not too far away from me, and we don't see each other all that much, but we get to talk a lot.
And you love the fact that your daughter is there, closer to you than she is to me.
Well, no.
I heard you guys were down here talking. I thought maybe you
Well,
might be
you two are
talking
seeing a
about
lot of each other lately. You're traveling, and
Well,
We are
we're
working so
working.
much together this next year, next couple of years. We've just got everything. It's really a joy.
Oh, I'm so
We
glad.
love it. We love working
I have a
together.
question for the two of you that I've always wanted to know. Over the years, we've heard about your work with Child Help and how it's grown into this unbelievable organization. How did you start? How did it get started?
Well, you know, Yvonne Feddersen was married to Don Feddersen, the executive producer of the television show. And Yvonne and Sarah O'Mara, actually they're up for the Nobel Peace Prize right now.
They are.
Yes, they are. And they did so much work, and as young actresses, they went over and found these little orphans in Japan. They were American and Japanese, and they were on the street. Nobody wanted them. And they vowed to build orphanages for children over there, and they did. And they also later organized the Vietnam Baby Lift and lifted those babies out of Vietnam. Helicopters came and got them out. And they've done so much. And then Nancy Reagan talked to them about the child abuse here in America, because it's so rampant. 3 children die every day from abuse.
Yeah, and when we were still on Lawrence Welk Show, Yvonne, I guess, got us to come out to Children's Village
Yeah.
out
In
in
Beaumont.
California.
Yes.
Yeah. and to sing for the kids. We did a Christmas party out there. And,
Guy brought his guitar.
And that hooked us, you know.
Yeah, yeah. We sat on the, you remember we sat on the floor, Guy, and you had your guitar, and there were about 8 little kids, and now it's full, you know, the whole place is full. But
Come a long way.
it's come a long way.
They still have National Day of Hope every year in Washington. We try to get back for that. It's
the first Wednesday in April.
Every year.
Well, I know they thank you for all your wonderful work.
Well, I'm just honored to be a part of it, and Guy too. We just love them and love doing anything we can for child
Thanks
health.
so much for joining us. And we're so honored to have all of you continue to join us for our hour together. Thank you so much, and until next time, as Lawrence Welk always said, keep a song in your heart.